Planet Sewers, welcome back to franchise mode. We are going to make some climbing structures for the red ruffed lemurs in this episode. Sorry, Ruby had a big scream, so I had to stop and start over. Anyway, we are building climbing structures for the red ruffed lemur here, and I thought it would be fun for them to be able to climb over the guests. So that's what I'm aiming for right here. And so we're gonna use the rope and aim that at the little shelter that's over there. And then we're gonna build a couple other things. I am going to edit out some of my roaming to try to keep the episode right at an hour. So while we do this, I'll talk about what I did take out of this episode. I did take out replacing a Chinese pangolin. I had one pass away, so we have a new one. And then I also had to do a little bit of terrain work since I split this habitat in half. So I went over on the pangolin side and redid a little bit of their terrain so that they would be happy again. So I took that part out. So I'm just using advanced move here. You hit X to get into it if you don't know, and sliding those over. I was double checking right there to make sure that that rope was going to connect kind of close with the shelter that I have there. And then I decided I'm going to also probably just bring that post over so that it's not just disappearing into the shelter. So I am trying to get a good angle to highlight just the post. And if you don't know how to do that, you can push I. There's also a mouse command for it. And then you can get that square. I don't know what my dogs are up to today. Apparently it's the dog show day instead of Ruby Day. She got put into her sleepy cage already. So I think Chloe thinks it's time for her treat, and it's not going to happen. It's not time. But anyway, so just getting those posts and moving them over here so that they are a little more supported, and bringing that just right to the edge of that shelter to bring the rope in. So like I said, I did edit a few things out. I was just putting down the feeding platform over there, and then I remembered I did not give them a water source, so I am creating just a little pond right here. And I can see by the blue line how big it's going to be, and I wanted it to be just a little bit bigger than that. So I'm going to push it down a little bit more and smooth this out and see if I can get a better pond. And there we go. I like the size of that pond better, so we're going to go ahead and do that. The water does come past that fence line a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to go in later and put in some stuff. So I was just checking to see if they can get to the water, and they can. So I'm looking to see what they're upset about, and I don't have enough adults, it looks like. So I'm going to add a few more of the red ruffed lemurs. And I did edit out picking out the red ruffed lemurs. I do keep track of how many conservation credits I earn with this zoo, and make sure that I am not using the conservation credits that I've earned from all my other franchise zoos, so that this is as if you were starting with a fresh franchise and you don't have the support of the other zoos. So I'm just going around and picking a couple of enrichment items. I need them to be happy. I don't want them to attract any protesters. So I was thinking about putting that there, and I think I decided not to, because that's where my climbing frame is going to be. So I was thinking about trying to put that in the air, but I ended up not using it at all. I just couldn't find a good spot for it. So I've got the feeding platform. You can elevate your feeding platforms. You do have to make sure that the staff can get up there. Otherwise, they'll just throw the food on the ground So I was copying that post that has the rope on it to create the support for this. And each climbing animal is a little bit different. Some of them can climb really well, and others are a little tricky. I found that out today. So the next episode, we are going to have a binturong build. That was, I actually built that today. But anyway, I really struggled to get their climbing in order. But the lemurs were super simple to build for. I didn't have any struggles at all, but I do check quite often to make sure that what I'm building for them, they can use, so that I don't build an awesome little thing that looks great and then they can't get up there. So this ramp here is more for the staff and not really for the lemur. I want the staff to be able to get up there and feed the lemurs on their little elevated feeding platform. And I went ahead and just put that all the way into the ground just in case there's a little gap there. So I wanted to make sure that they can get there. So I'm checking, and yes, they can get up there. So woohoo! All right, onward. So I'm gonna get another platform, and I don't want to cover the platform that I just put in for their feeding because the staff may not be able to feed them. So I'm gonna put one off to the side, and then I should turn, there we go, so I can see what I'm doing. And hopefully that is close enough that they can get to it. They can climb the post as well. So I'm going to give the support on the other side. So they're already starting to climb. So I'm going to check and see, this says they have enough climbing, but I'm going to go ahead and build them a little bit more. I can also see I need to give them a little less sand, so I'm going to take that sand out. I'm going to put in some more grass because I like grass. This side originally did have the pangolins, and we cut this in half. So I was fixing the terrain over there as well. I cut that out, and then I'm putting in a keeper hut and a break room right here because the entrance is back here for the habitat gate for the staff. And we do have no work zones at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of work zones. I'm going to speed this up, but you can still see. So I'm going to name that red ruffed lemur, and then I've highlighted everything else, and I'm going to make that the entrance and the exhibits and the Chinese pangolin because they are a lot closer to all those support buildings. And then a lot of times what I'll do as well is I will put the shops in their own group. So I have the entrance shops, I have the lemurs, and then I have those two exhibits with the Chinese pangolins. And one keeper should be able to keep up with that. If not, we'll do two. But in order to make money, I am going to try to keep my staff a little smaller. So I'm going through and giving each habitat zone one keeper. And then I'm going to leave my vet outside of the work zones so the vet can take care of all the animals. Later on, I'll go back and I'll specify for my vets about 3 habitats. But at this point, I'm not going to worry about it just yet. But it is important as you're building these to go ahead and start organizing your work zones so that when things start kind of going awry, you're not trying to figure out what should be in a work zone and you've got half a zoo to put together. Anyway, so I'm copying that one little section and trying to figure out how high I want it to be. I'm thinking about how I want to put the next section of climbing for them. And I think what I was going to do, what I came up with, anyway, I know what I'm going to do, but what I had in mind was I was going to kind of make a little, almost like a rope bridge. But so I'm just looking for all those green lines right now to make sure that they can use everything that I have put out so far. And they can. I wanted to make sure they could get to this little section before I put in the next part. So I was going to put in that bottom part for the little rope bridge that's going to go over to that little shelter. That way they have different options. They can go over the path. They don't have to get on the path if they don't want to from shelter to shelter. They can climb up and then go across, and then they can come over here. So I'm figuring out my height, and I'm gonna scoot it over into the middle in just a moment. But I didn't want it to be too tall. And part of my thought process too, I'm a little bit of a slow builder sometimes. So I was thinking about how low I need this, how I was going to put this together. The rope pieces, you don't have a lot of short ones. You have limited options. So I didn't want it to be too close. So, and also sometimes if you hide the ends of these climbing structures, they won't be able to use it properly. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it down a little bit more. They are small, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be right up there. So I'm going to put a couple of these in. And I had thought about bringing that all the way into the shelter and then putting something in where they could get down. And then I changed my mind and I decided that's not what I wanted to do. And I am noticing that it does rain quite often in this zoo. I would assume that's because I picked a tropical biome, possibly. So I think what I'm going to do after I get done with this is I'm going to go ahead and put some more path covers out since it does rain so much. They were complaining that the tickets were too cheap, so I went ahead and raised those up a little bit, and we're going to continue with our build. So we did have an inspection that happened as well. Everything looks good, so we'll keep going. I'm going to probably just copy this whole thing over, and I'm a little frustrated right here because it's kind of far away. So I didn't quite want it that far, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin this because it's not quite parallel to each other. And then I think I'll get rid of one of those other posts. So we're going to scoot this over just a little bit, and I'll delete the other one. And then I got to just get it just right. I can't talk today. When can I ever? Talking is difficult for me for some reason. I like to create my own words, say things that don't exist. There's been several times I've said some pretty funny things, more than I can remember. But anyway, I'm trying to get just one of those, and I'm realizing that I have them grouped together, so I need to ungroup them. So go into the group. Just want the one that's still getting both of them for some reason. There we go. Alrighty, so we're gonna get out of there and look at how I want to connect this together. So, oh, the rain's making the screen kind of funny. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna attach this right here and spin it out and try to get the angle just to where it'll hide that other end of the rope in the little rope section on top. That is the goal. And this is a little too long, which is frustrating because I really didn't want to sink this down too much. Let's see if I pull this back, if I can get away with that, if it'll go inside and not peek out. It does a little bit, but not too bad. I can cover that up. We can use those same little rope ties that I have on the top. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna get that to just snap for me a little bit, and we're gonna use push X. If you hit it again, you get these rotator ones. You can also use the little menu with your mouse that pops up in the corner. It's not there at the moment, oddly enough. Maybe because I don't use it a whole lot. Oh, there it is. I just couldn't see it. It was hiding. Anyway, so I'm going to do the same thing. Pull that back a little bit so that the rope is not sticking out of the other end. So I'm going to change the camera angle so that I can make sure that it's not. And that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these little rope ends, looking for the small ones. And there's a couple options. So I'm going to use this one. And I need to turn position snap back on, or I can just do it this way. And we'll slide it just over the edge and then set that down, and then you can just scoot another one over. I love how the game does that. It just keeps it there until you pick something else. You can actually pick something else if you wanted to with this activated, and then it will change it for you. That's a neat little trick. And so we've got, I'm going to pull this just a little bit over. There we go. Scoot it to where it's in the rope, not just going straight into the wood. And double check this side, see what it looks like. It looks like I need to give it just a little turn. So we're going to grab this one, and then I'll get the blue one and scoot it over a little bit. There we go. That looks good. So we'll set that down. And just double checking them all, making sure they do look the way I want them to. And we'll go ahead and I'm going to grab another one of these posts. I had grouped them all together and in all the other areas that they are in. So I need to get a single one. And I've decided, because it just doesn't look that stable, especially if I put another one on the other side, and I didn't want to attach ropes all along. That was my original plan, but I changed my mind. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just put them kind of coming up through the middle, and then we'll grab that and go ahead and bring that into the ground and duplicate this one. And it didn't give me fun arrows, so I'm just going to use M to move it, and then I can place it where I want, and then after I've got it placed I can sync it. But I kind of like the height difference here, so if they did want to get up there, they have a nice little high spot to sit, and making sure they can climb through all of these things, that I didn't mess up any of the previous climbing by any of the additions. And I wanted to make sure they could still go across with those posts in the middle, and it looks like they can. So woohoo! All right, so we're going to, oh look, they're getting fed. They're using the platform. Yay! And we have a lot of people standing over here looking at them. It looks like he's gonna go ahead and get up there. I'm probably gonna disrupt him. See if they box him. And there it goes. So fun to see them run along on the things that you make for them. All right, so we're gonna put these in, and I think I'm gonna put some right here so that it kind of connects those. And they're not just in the air, I guess. So I'll do that. I'm gonna hit I. I'm gonna select both of those again, and then we'll put that down there. I should have, yeah, see, he got boxed. He was thinking about coming up here. Should have grouped those together so I wouldn't have to hit I every single time. And hopefully, I'm probably gonna upset them again by setting this down. Let's see if anybody, oh, he went backwards. That was a interesting little climb he did. So, all right, they do like this climbing structure. So I do need to add in the rope on this end so that it is a little more stable. I'm going to scoot these over. It's kind of hanging on them funny. So we're just going to nudge those so it doesn't look so wonky. We'll double check these other ones. Let's pull that one in. That one looks like it's okay. I might move it just a smidge. There we go. That looks better. And alrighty. So back to over here. I need one of these, so I'm just gonna duplicate that one, bring it over here, and let's see how we're gonna connect this in. I'm really close, so I'm not gonna be able to do this the same way I did on the other end. So I'm gonna see if I can reach over here. I may have to make it a little longer, so we're gonna go ahead and put the rope right there and then get it aimed, and hopefully that's going to make it. Yep, it did. Alright, so we're attached there, and I guess, let's see, I'm going to need another one of these, and I know it's going to come from right there, so I'm going to go ahead and attach right there and hit X twice so I can get my circles. Spin it around. I'm going to raise it up. I'm going to attach it over to that side, and I'm going to get a better view so I can hopefully get this aimed into the right spot. Let's see if that's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and just see. It's a wee bit off, so I need to just come down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here and spin it, and that should be good. And let's see if this makes it. Yep, it does. Alright, so we'll put this one down here, and then we'll go ahead and go out to the post over there. And there we go. Now it's supported, and it's raining again. So what I edited out this time was just selling off some more of the exhibit animals. The exhibit animals for cash. So they were whining that there were too many, that their social group wasn't good. So we'll go ahead and sell them all. And then I've decided I'm going to make a path cover for them, the guests, so that if it starts raining again, they do have a place they can stand where it's going to be dry. And looking back, I should probably put a couple of benches through here. I'll have to remember to do that the next time I get into the file. And maybe some more trash cans, because I did notice when I logged in today that they had a lot of trash going on in certain areas, so I don't have enough trash cans. Alright, so I've got this being made, and we're gonna group that together, and then I'm gonna change the color to the gray so it'll match the building. It goes with the theme that's over there. And then we're going to get a different view, go back into the group. Let's see, construction. I'm going to look for some planks, and I want them to be the same kind of recolorable type of material. And I had it, but I want it to be right here. So what I did is highlighted that beam, hit X, and then that will allow me to have a piece that's either parallel or perpendicular, depending on how it puts it out. So I'm just making sure I have the angle snap on so that I can rotate this around and make a cover for them. So it's not quite 8 meters here. I think it's 6 meters. So it is going to overlap a little bit. So I'm going to need to make sure I don't have any of that Z-fighting. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, I'm going to move this up first. So I'm going to have to check for that when we get going. So I'm going to go ahead and separate this out of the group so that I can copy and just move it just to the edge there. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit I, group those two together, and go ahead and duplicate both of those, do the same thing, and then repeat. It wouldn't let me copy both of them, so I have to put them into the group together so that I can copy all of them. I think I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to hit I, select both of those, put them into a group, and oops. Let's see. Go ahead and see how far I need to go, because I want this to be just one beam of length this direction. So I want to make sure that I'm not going to be copying too much. But I can always remove what I don't need. We'll go ahead and put this one on the other side, and it'll cover up that little bit that's kind of sticking out. I may need to pull those in, so we'll do it that way. Go ahead and highlight all these guys, and then hit X and bring them in. I'm going to go ahead and shift them up and down. That way we don't get any Z biting on these pieces when you look at it from above. And then let's see. So if I copy this whole thing, that's going to be pretty big. So I'm going to double click and go in and go ahead and copy what I think I need. So we're going to grab these and go ahead and slide it over. And it looks like I nailed that. Woohoo! I don't always get it. Sometimes there's not enough. I'd rather have too many though. That way I can just take some out instead of having to go back and highlight one more little set. So we're gonna copy that beam of support that we have, and we'll put this right here. And there we go. So they now have a nice little path cover so that if it starts raining again, they have something they can stand underneath. And probably I should have put in a little more support maybe, but I'm going to cover that little edge right there. So we're just going to add in a couple of beams, make that even. So there we go. That way you can't see the little edge where those are overlapping. But yeah, I probably should have put some little support beams in the corners, but I guess ours will just be not as structurally sound, because you can make them that way. But anyway, so I'm going to go over here to this little pond area. I'm going to use the mossy rocks so that I can kind of cover that little section where the water went under the fence a little bit too much. And I'm looking for some plants to put over here. So I'm going to use this guy. And one easy way to get what you need for the habitat, select your animal, hit that leaf tab, and then you can just click on Africa where it says continent, and then you can click the circle for the biome, and it will automatically filter for you. I wish I had known that. I don't know when they did that. I don't know if the game's always been that way, but I used to hover over it and read it and then filter it through the menu down at the bottom. But I was super excited when I figured out you could do it that way. And let's see. So they look happy with their coverage. I could put in some more if you want to keep it kind of bare. As long as it's green, they'll be happy. I'm going to add, this is one of my favorite trees, so I'm going to put some of these in here. And I'm going to put one of these over there. I did get rid of some of the bamboo over in the pangolin habitat. I think I edited that out because it was sharing some space with my red ruffed lemurs, and they didn't like the bamboo. But I'm gonna see if I can get away with putting some bamboo in. And let's see, I want the smaller one. I want this one over here. So nope, I want that one in the corner. Nope, still didn't get it. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna take this back over here because originally I had stuck it in to keep them from coming across until I had the barrier, but it was hanging over the fence. So since it was hanging over the fence, it was counting it as part of their foliage over there for the red ruffed lemur, and they don't like it. So I'm also going to just put a little bit, I'll get rid of that heat map, sorry. Yeah, we're going to put a few there so that they have some screening. They can get back there if they want and hide. I'm going to add a couple more little palm trees around my little water area. So I think I need to turn some settings off here. There we go. It was aligning to surface, so it was looking a little wonky. And I'm going to copy this one. We're going to put one of these over here, and right there looks good. And there we go. I'm going to click on him, and let's see, how are we doing here? We can add some more things. I'm going to grab this plant. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple more of these in. That way we do have some other areas that these guys can hide if they want to. I'm going to put it, let's see, I'm going to put it back here, I think. That way they can get back here and have some screening. And then every pond needs a water lily, if it'll let you, in my book. So we're going to just shift and hold this. Actually, it's not shift, it's control, is what you would push to, or is it shift? It is shift. I'm silly. Control is left and right, shift is up and down. Let's see. I don't like that. What else do I want to put in here? I can put a weeping willow in. Weeping willow. Or I can put some of these water banana plants. Let's see, what's going on? I'll check that in a second. Important alert. Requires my attention. We are paused, so I'll worry about it in a moment. I'm going to sink this down. I don't want it to be so tall. I want it to be more like what we have here, like the sago palms, what we call them. So there we go. I like that. And one more. I'm going to put that one there. And let's see. I think I need one more too. I'll put one over here. I probably should have rotated some of those so that they would have a little bit of a different view. I'm going to put one of these over here too. There we go. And let's see. Oh, what's the problem? Oh no. How did he get up here? I bet this guy is climbable. So let's double check that. Let's see. We're going to emergency capture him. That's 1,000. That'll get him back where he belongs. And if you don't have enough, I don't think he's considered dangerous. You could just call a vet to come get it. So I'm going to scoot those over, and yep, those were climbable. It boxed some of them over there because they were going to interact with it. All right, so I've decided, I think I'm going to copy this guy. So we're going to group all that stuff together, and I'm going to put another one just right next to it, just like that, and put that there. There we go. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and, nope, it won't let me. So let's put them in a group, I guess. Yep. It wouldn't let me use Control D, which is basically copy, and it would not let me Control X, which is copy with advance move. Let's see. So I can't put that there, obviously. It will mess up all my nice work. And I cannot put that there because that messes up their little path with the rope. So we're going to scoot this over to the path, and I guess I'll scoot it back. I kind of wanted to put those corner to corner, but oh well, that's okay. We'll just move this back a little bit, and I think that they can probably get on top of that if they wanted. All right, so we are done with that. We're going to go inside the building in here and finish this off. So I've just used that same beam, the 4-meter beam. I think that's 4 meter, yeah. That I used to make those path covers. I'm gonna just duplicate this to kind of fill in this little hole, since I set these to the outside of the exhibit, so that it wouldn't fight with that black stuff on the top of them. And then I'm gonna duplicate this over here and just get it nice and snug. And there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. I should have hit I. It's not gonna let me grab that one, so I. And then we're gonna hold Control and select both of those. And then I'm gonna push this over here, and that way they should both line up. If I get one, I should have the other one. So then I'm gonna do the same thing I just did. I'm gonna hit I, hold Control, and I'm gonna group all 4 of those together. So now I just need to drag these over here and go ahead and line one of them up, and they should all be in the right spot. There we go. I had accidentally deleted, I was trying to get the top of those off of there because I decided to do this a little different going up. So I deleted the exhibit, so I had to put it back. So I skipped that. So I've got the 4-meter aquatic wall here, and I'm gonna just put this, oh, I still have one there to delete. I'll get it in a second. So I'm gonna put this here. I can already see that they're not at the same height. That's okay, I'll fix it in a second. So I'm gonna grab this one, hit Control D, and then use Z to spin it, and there we go. So let's go up here. Yeah, they're all sticking out. So we're going to go ahead and go back in, and we'll fix that. I'm just thinking if that's what I really want to do, or do I want to move the roof? That's the thought process I was having. So we're going to move these. So I'm going to just go around. Since I'm in the group, I don't have to use I can just hold Control and select all 4, and then I hit M for move. At least that's how I remember it. I'm going to scoot those down. I've got my grid height down there set to 1 meter. So now I do have some gaps right there. And I think this is a 1 meter roof. It looks like it. So I need the 1 meter slope right there. It's hiding it from me. I can see it over there. So let's turn it off to the left, and let's bring it up a little higher, and hold Shift, and let's see, come here. There we go. And this is why you really should probably leave the roof for last. Anyway, I could have moved the roof off. You can do that. Highlight the whole roof, separate it from your building, and then you can lift it up and then put it back down. You can either use X for that, or you can move it just with M and hold Shift to raise it in the air. However you want to do it. But I decided to suffer, apparently, and work through the roof. But anyway, so I'm going to grab these because they're a little too high. I don't want that. So I'm going to painstakingly highlight each one and hold X, or not push it, not hold it. And then we're going to just slide that down just until they disappear. There we go. So now they're not sticking out of my roof anymore. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab all of these things here so that I can duplicate them over to the other side. So I already have the bottom part, and I don't want the whole building. So let's go ahead and I guess we'll put that all into one, and then we'll select these. Maybe, oh wait, I probably should have built this as its own little separate thing to make it easier for me to copy this over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this first. So let's go ahead and get rid of those without deleting the exhibit this time. So I'm going to make sure, nope, I don't want the exhibit. Go away. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to just grab the walls. That's easier. So we're going to highlight these, and let's see. I'm still thinking about how I'm going to get that duplicated. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of detail before I do that so that I can bring it all over at the same time. So that way I'm not building this twice. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right here, and it's like just a little too short. How annoying. What's it look like over there? Excuse me, floofy hair. All right, cool. That works. So I'm gonna nudge this up, and then we're gonna scoot it back just a little. I want it to not pop over. There we go. And then put that there. Highlight those. Go ahead and let's see. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. So we're going to slide this over here. There we go. Make sure it's not sticking over on the other side. It looks like it is. Let's give it a nudge. Right there. There we go. All right, I'm going to set that down there. And then I'll highlight all 4 of them. And I will Control X that. Nope, I don't want the exhibit. There we go. And then I'm going to spin it. So let's get X one more time. That way I can spin with my 45-degree on. I don't have to build that 4 times. Woohoo! All right, so I've got all that. Then I think I'm going to, do I want that on the top too? I think so. No, I don't want the exhibit. Go away. So we're gonna highlight all of those again. And Klaus is finding every toy he can to chomp on. And he is quite a chomper. It's a very loud chomp. There we go. Good thing I just want to go up because it's given me some wonky arrows there. So we're just gonna raise this just to right there. There we go. I like that. Awesome. Okay, so now that I've got that little detail done, I think I've got everything I want on here. So before I duplicate this over, so we're gonna highlight all of these little things. So we're gonna go around this way. This is why I was saying I probably should have built this as its own group. No, I don't want that. Stop it. There we go. Instead of, let's see. Oh. Wow. Oh well. Let's see. So I need the rest. I guess I could drop this down just a little and that will fix that. So we're going to split that from the group and we're going to give it just a little nudge down. There we go. Okay. So now that I've done that, I may not be able to, yeah. All right, so we're gonna go into this group, excuse me, wall, and let's see. So, all right. So I moved everything down, so I'm still, I think we're okay. Or did I undo? I might have, so I can get them back in the same group. So if you're trying to follow along and you're not able to select all of these at the same time, that is because they need to be in the same group. I will not be able to copy this over if they're not in the same group. And your grid pieces, once you split them out, I don't think you can put them back in the group without going in and rebuilding it. So I hit Control Z so it would put them all in the group. So I'm going to grab all of these pieces. It's a lot of pieces, which is why I was probably saying for the 3rd time now, I should have built this in its own little group. So yeah, now that I've got all that, I'm going to give everything a nudge down. There we go. So now that I've got that not peeking out of my roof, I'm going to set that down and then go ahead, and I should have grouped it. Did I group it? Did I split that out? I may be regretting my decisions right now. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I did. So to get this moved over, they are all in their own little group. I split them out so that I can do this because I don't want them attached to the main building. So I'm gonna just drag this over and get this just nice and snug right there. Now I didn't select the beams because I already have a set of beams here. And now I'm looking and it's like, oh wait, I need to turn this. So we're gonna hit X and give this a spin. There we go. And then So what I was saying is I didn't want to miss some of those beams. It looks like I need the bottom set. I should have put those in the same group. That would have made life a little easier. So let's go grab that bottom set. But I'm going to use the beams that are already there on the other one that are going up and down to copy, because I can easily, why? What about world axis? Woohoo! We're still on it, so I can move this. That was close. Alright, so if you end up off the world grid, sometimes the arrows can get really tricky. This isn't exactly symmetrical, I guess. That seems to be the factor for that, is where it thinks the center is. But anyway, so I've got this group here already grouped because I copied it to the left. So now I can just copy this up, and then I don't know why I matched all of that, because I need to come up here and just move it down, but whatever. So why is it, oh yeah, because I don't want the whole group. That's why. I just want these three, because one of them does need to go all the way up to the middle part of the ceiling. So we're gonna scoot these down. All right, and we're, yep, making sure they're not sticking out of my roof there. Alrighty, so I have decided I want to get in this group here, and I want one more of these on the other side, but the struggle is real. So I've hit, I've double clicked into it, and I'm trying to get just those two posts and that rope, but I couldn't get both. I must have split one out. So we're just gonna go ahead and go with what I can grab, and we're gonna move that over here. And I want to just add one more little rope out here for them. There we go. I was trying to kind of line it up. Also, I think I might have picked an unclimbable, I don't know if that's climbable or not, the wood path cover there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give them the opportunity to get up there if they can't. So, all right, that looks like it lines up. So we're going to go ahead and put that there and spin it a little bit. And come back a little. And there we go. Really, I think maybe I'm just going for, yep, just giving them, you know, they can run out this way if they want from here and get a little closer to our guests. So I'm going to scoot this just a little so the rope's not sticking out anywhere. And there we go. All right, looks good. That looks fun. Lots of places for them to go. Awesome. Let's see. So we're done with some research. Woohoo! Getting closer to being able to use the Africa theme DLC in this suit. A little aerial shot. I was just looking around at a couple things. One of the other things I did skip was moving around education boards, redoing the education board for the right animal. Some of the speakers also had to be fixed. And then I also added a couple, and apparently I'd hid some in the pangolin habitat. They got hidden anyway by the bamboo. So I moved one over there to in front of their little pond. And then because of the rain, I'm going to go ahead and add one more of these in the pangolin habitat. I was trying to get this to fit a little differently. I didn't want those, oh my gosh, how many times can I say Anyway, I did not want the posts in the middle of the path there. Oh, why is the pangolin curling up and napping right there? Goofy little pangolin. However, I wasn't quite able to get it to work, so they'll just have to walk through the post over here. It must be a little, well, I think it's because it's going around the corner, and I didn't go around the corner on this side. I added a couple of more lemurs, red ruffed lemurs over here. So I needed a couple more enrichment items. They had gotten a little unhappy, or maybe I never finished it. Not sure. But anyway, so I am adding a couple more things in for them so that they can get drawn to the guests a little bit view. Oh, good grief. What was that? Anyway, so I'm adding in a little bit of foliage over here to cover up the staff path that's back here. And I'm going to go grab one of these trees. I like these trees. So we're going to put that right over here. And that way it blocks off a little bit of the view. I'm going to go ahead and hit Z and spin that around. Hit Z, spin that around. Why are they all getting boxed? Weird. Okay, anyway. It was just the one. So we have a new one. And there it is. And everything looks pretty good to me. So then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of bamboo on this end as well. Same reason, just covering up the staff path. I may put something over here that is guest related later, but for right now, I just have the staff path. So we're going to cover that up so that all they see is plants and not the staff roaming around back here. And we'll go ahead and this I don't have to worry about it being in the habitat because the pangolins are okay with bamboo. Apparently it is corgi and husky rustle time in my house. There goes the corgi. A couple last finishing touches on this building. I'm going to go ahead and put the education in here so if they're looking through the windows they know that they're looking at the pangolin. And then I'm going to put the red ruffed lemur over here as well. I can't put speakers in here. I mean, I could, but I already have speakers that are set for the enrichment, the exhibits. So let's see. What else do I need inside of here so that I can put this on the workshop for you guys if you did not want to build it yourself, or if you got stuck, or if you want to see how I did it, whatever the case may be, or even if for the people that don't watch my content, if they need a little funky center. This came out kind of weird. That's really big, but I kind of like it. I don't know. Am I going to go with that? Let's change the color. Yeah. I'm going to put the information right there. And then what do we have in here? We have a gulpy. So I'm going to type in gulpy right here, and that will filter for my signs. Let's see. I'm going to grab that one, I think. There we go. Oh, that's huge. Just kidding. That's really big. I guess we're going to use this one. It's a little smaller. Oh, I want one in between these two sizes. That would be amazing. All right. What do I have here? I have chief beef. So we're going to go, nope. That's super big. What about this one? Let's see. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Alright, so we're going to put that right there. And plop. And then, what do I have over there? A hat. Fantastic. So I'm going to type in hat. Again, why? Why is it so big? Oh well. Alright, so we'll go with this one. I want one that's a little in between. We'll go, yeah, we'll use this one. I'm going to put a little lower. Right there. Okay. So I've got that in there. And then we're done in that group. Let's see. I'm going to put, I got some of these little advertisement signs out here, I think. Let's see. So you can come in here. You can get, excuse me, you can get hats. So I'm going to put that right there. And then what else did I have in there? The next one was the chief beef. So we'll put beef on this door, on this side. Oh, we're getting inspected again. Everything should be good though. I only have one alert. Not sure what it is. All right. And then what else do we have back there? We have the gulpy. So let's get the gulpy. That's interesting. Huh. Not what I need, but I just wanted to take a look at it. Alrighty. So we're going to put the gulpy there. And there is no info one. And I didn't like any of the options, so I didn't do that. And the last thing that this building needs is a floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this in the group. So there it goes, select group to add. And then I should have, let's see, all right, we're going to put that there. I should have stopped right there and separated that one out and then done all of this. So don't do this. So you should highlight that first one, split it, and then double click back in and duplicate this all over. I will need the little curved one for the edges where I have the round corner, because after I get all this put in, I'm gonna have to go back and highlight it all to move it. So I'm gonna split this from the group. So here we go, let's get these circle pieces in. Get this one, that one doesn't match, so let's go over here. It's gonna match this corner, excuse me, I can't see. Yep. All right, so let's grab this one, spin it, and put it in that corner, and then go to the other. Oh, hey, I missed that. Oh, Klaus, no borking. Alrighty. So what I need to do is scoot this one over, and then duplicate this one, put it right there. Okay, now I'm going to speed this up by skipping it. So all I did was highlight the floor and separate it out, and I'm gonna scoot this down until it disappears and then bring it just right back up. And now nobody is swimming inside the floor anymore. And the last little thing is lighting. So I chose, I think it's a New World light. Yep, New World wall lamp. All right, so we're gonna just go around with that lamp. I'm gonna put it in different places all around the building, so we have some light in here when it gets dark. And there we go, I had to click that one twice. So sometimes when it's a different group, you do have to do it twice, once to enter the group and then another time to actually set it down. So I had to do it on that one as well. Let's see, there we go. I'll go around, one on each one. Up there. Oh, got eat it outside. There we go. That looks good to me. Let's see, we're gonna hop outside. I need to duplicate these doors on in to the inside. So that one, they're stuck to the other group. So I need to fix that. And I'm gonna split them out. And then I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it, push Control X. And that way we can hit X one more time. And then I've got the angle snap on, and we're gonna fight apparently. There we go. Oh, it went one too many. There we go. Hit X one more time. Go look on the inside. Make sure that the door is there. And there it is. And if you want, you can turn the light on the door off, I think. And then we're gonna do the same thing to this one over here. There we go. Sped that up a little bit so we can get to the end here. All right, and let's see. I need to do some plants. So we're going to put a little bit of plants right in here so that it looks nice and pretty in between these little entrances and exits on the front of the building. Let's see, we need to change the price of our tickets again. We added, or I did anyway, more red ruffed lemurs, so the ticket prices are too low. And let's see, guest numbers, got a reward. Cool, yay. All right, it's raining again. It is always raining in the zoo. It's either raining or it's dark, or both, like it is right now. All right, I need a bush. What kind of bush do I want to put down here? Alrighty, let's see. Oh, that one's too little. Let's see what else. That works. If it would not be on my lamppost. All right, I'm gonna use X. I'm gonna slide it just in there, and then I'm gonna bring it down to the ground. So it's got a nice good height difference. Here we go. And that looks good to me. All right, awesome. All right, so I think we are good to end here. So we have finished off our red ruffed lemur habitat. Next episode, we're going to do a binturong habitat. And I think I'm going to put it just across right there from that building. And for this week, I will be doing a live stream on Thursday. I'm going to be doing a collaboration with a couple of different creators. So I'm going to start the entrance for that zoo. And then on Saturday, I will be doing another live stream to finish off the entrance I started last week. And then on Sunday, as always, we will have another episode of the Houston Zoo. So thank you so much. If you stuck it out this far, if you like my content, give it a like, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. May the RNG odds be ever in your favor.